Um, I'm wondering about Israel, about Trump and Netanyahu, and is he just decided why he's gone unilateral, kind of lone, um, kind of lone wolf negotiations? Um, I did see some comment somewhere that Israel and Lebanon and Iran were discussed by the vice president. I don't think he shut them out completely. Uh, but it seems where the world, Israel is unsure exactly where Trump stands. He hasn't. I haven't seen him mention Israel except on one question that a reporter asked him about Israel and where he and Bibi, and he said something about Bibi, and that was all. He didn't give his usual spiel on the issue. He was kind of shut mouth about it. I say, Mr. President, Israel is the apple of God's eye. And the United States should make sure that the well-being and Israel is an attacked state. They're not apartheid. They're not out to kill Palestinians. They're trying to defend themselves, and Hezbollah has been attacking. The head of Hezbollah said on camera not too long ago there would be no ceasefire as long as the occupiers were in the land, meaning Israel. Jews were in the land. And the news media, for the most part, seems to ignore that Hezbollah is a militant organization that is intended on eradicating the Jews in the Holy Land. It's not that Israel is attacking Lebanon. They recently found a tunnel that was full of drones and missiles and right there in southern Lebanon where the Israeli troops were put there to, there's talk that Israel is just weeks away from solving the problem, but these kamikaze, using a World War II phrase about kamikaze pilots that would dive their planes into ships, try to blow them up. Kamikaze drones were set off in a school bus, and thankfully the parents had just come and got the children. So they send these drones into populated areas and then blow them up. They tried to blow up a bunch of school children. You know, if that was happening in the United States, we'd be at war with whoever was doing it. So there's very little truthful, objective, informative reporting, informed reporting. If they know the truth, they're not broadcasting it. It's just like the Archbishop of Canterbury came out and said, free Palestinians. Well, they had free Palestinians. It was called Gaza. And they self-ruled and they built tunnels and built missiles. October the 7th happened. That's what a free Gaza brought to Israel. It's kind of unusual that Israeli intelligence didn't. They were completely caught by surprise. There was intelligence that they had received notification that something was going to happen, but ignored the information. And then there was a dream that God had purpose in it. The Lord told me the other day, He said, we're harvesting, meaning they're bringing Christians to heaven. I hope it was the Lord, you know. You have to be careful in this world of spiritual conversation. A lot depends on thought discernment. I received two Terry Meeuwsen I was kind of questioning the Lord about words of knowledge. And Terry Meeuwsen looked at the camera and she said, you know, these words, she and Gordon and other hosts on the 700 Club do a time of healing prayer where they pray for healing for people. And they get words of knowledge and they speak it over the airways to people that are listening in their homes. And they get back testimonies that people were miraculously healed. They said, and they get verified information that Gordon or Terry or Andrew or Ashley, they're the main ones, gave a word of knowledge that was specific and personal for them, and they were healed. And sometimes Gordon mainly will call out the name. And Terry looked at the camera and she said, you know, these words of knowledge are thoughts that enter my mind when I turn my attention to prayer, to somebody being healed. And the word of knowledge enters her consciousness. And she's trained, she's adept at looking at that and speaking it. Received a similar message from Todd White one day. He was during the same time period. Todd White looked at the camera, and this fellow waiter came up. He was being filmed at a dinner. This waiter came up and he said, "Is your shoulder hurting? Does it need healing?" And he said, "Yes." And he reached back and prayed for his shoulder. He looked at the camera and said, as he approached, as the waiter came up to the table, that thought, he said, described it as a thought, entered his consciousness. And he was trained in words of knowledge. And the waiter said, "Yes, and my shoulder is hurting." And so that was two confirmations of the question that was running through my mind. And I was watching Bethel Church, Redding, California. The two ministers on the live stream were talking about one of the people there at Bethel that was at a soccer match and was getting words of knowledge for the soccer players, and these young girls were getting healed of ankle injuries and such. And so thought discernment can be accurate, but you got to look immediately at what's in your consciousness to read accurately. And I have to say that I'm not really that sure of myself in thought discernment. I would rather get knowledge and understanding. That's spirit to spirit communication. It comes into your spirit and you know it's true. You get a reality, you get understanding, you get knowledge. That's the best kind of revelation. But that's the two kinds of revelation: spirit to spirit and thought discernment. And it's like I had a vision of me and of another me in a church earlier today, and I didn't get much knowledge with it. So, I don't know what it was about. And I don't know, I might have missed I miss things all the time. And anyway, I do pray Trump is doing right by Israel. I say, President Trump, please don't depart from your support for the nation of Israel. It's critical to the well-being of the U.S. of A. And I don't know where we're going. We might be heading down a path to Book of Revelation, Lesser Tribulation. You know, it says in Revelation, the I control the kings of the earth. You know, that's what the risen Lord said. in Revelation to John. Revelation may be one of the most accurate books in the Bible, apart from Paul's letters. These epistles and letters that were written at a later date seem to be less in conflict than the Gospels are and such. But they were written by one person and not several accounts. You know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are all gospel accounts of the life of Christ, written by different people at different times. And Luke was an investigative, not an eyewitness. Luke was an investigation into the events concerning Jesus the Christ. And I do believe in the Q. That there was in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there was a document or a group of information that was common to all three. Each one, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, all had a different intent, and as they addressed different audiences. Matthew was to the Jews, Mark was to the Greeks, or the Romans maybe, and Luke was to the Gentiles. I don't know, but you can read up on it and see. It's quite remarkable that we have what we have. And it hadn't changed much from the way it was written. One expositor said that if we didn't have the manuscripts, and there are tens of thousands of manuscripts, if we didn't have the manuscripts, you could put a Bible together from the writings of the ministers, the community, the leaders, Polycarp and other writers. You could put a Bible together from their references to the scriptures. In the early writings of the church. So it's the most well-documented book in existence. And it's remarkably accurate. There's only a few sentences here and there that differ. You know, Anyway, I feel more capable of it, of writing something. Maybe this next month I'll explore trying to put something together to put in publication. There's a lot of people advertising to help people write books. I imagine they got AI empowered to help writers. I want it to be more me and less AI, though. Doesn't hurt to have the grammar and formatting and everything done by AI. But the ideas and the content need to come from a human being. Unless it's a factual book, like a scientific document. It's just dealing with facts and not faith. Faith needs to come from people. You can do Bible facts and things like that. But understanding God and faith needs to come from people. Anyway, a big God bless you. I hope your day, your evening as well. I'm trying to decide on whether to go to the men's group or not. I don't know. I don't feel as welcome at places as I used to. Maybe me, the more I became aware, the less I've been involved. I've kind of withdrawn. The isolation. My main source of community is you, the people that watch my videos. We try to do what the Lord wants, try to serve the Master. It gets very difficult sometimes. I think things may be changing. I'm looking for, we got the midterms coming up. Got this Iran deal. Trump has taken all the restrictions off of Iran selling oil, giving them $300 billion to rebuild their nation with. And the Gulf states are creating a fund to help them rebuild. And it's a brave new world out there in the Middle East. Israel, the apple of God's eye, is feeling a little isolated. I don't know. It may be setting it up for the. I'm not going to say that. But we might be moving into the book of Revelation if we're not already in it. No one knows the hour of the day, save the Father alone. Anyway, God bless. See if we got any chat here. Nobody's commenting. I'm not sure anybody's watching. Got 0 watching. I don't know if I'm broadcasting on Facebook or not. God bless. I get no likes on most of my posts. So I don't know whether it's me or whether it's those that watch over me.